finish up Thorn's turn, making it Chada's turn. And I'm going to move her just one space and move her marker 1 into hour 5. And the reason I'm doing that is because I don't want to flip over a fog token and find something that I don't want to deal with. So I'm going to use the telescope, and this was a good reason. This is a gore token. Now, flipping it over from an adjacent space by use of the telescope does not activate it, but if I end my turn on that space, then another gore will appear. And since they can't be in the same space, it would automatically move there and put it just two moves away from entering the castle. So that worked out good. Now I know not to end my turn on space 16. And that'll take us over to Ayara's turn, who still has 3 hours available because of the bonus that we can do the 8th hour for free. I'm going to have Ayara move 2 spots to the merchant. Oops. And I'm going to use her 2 gold to purchase one of the shields. And when you use it one time, you can see that it's a little bit damaged on the back side. She'll spend her 2 gold at the merchant and put her shield into place. And the reason I'm buying this shield for her is not really that I'm worried about her taking damage during combat, but the shield can also be used to discard the negative effect on a event card. So I wanted to be prepared. Any event cards that come up, I want to be able to eliminate the bad ones, because we already have enough obstacles. We don't need anything else making it difficult for us to accomplish our goals. Next we have Krom. And I'm going to get him to the merchant also. He's 2 spaces away. He's already on hour 7, but I can move him into hour 8 for free without penalty. And then I'm going to use half of his wineskin to get him to the merchant. And while I'm at the merchant, I will spend all 4 gold to raise his strength 2 points up to 5. And then I did use half of my wineskin to get to the merchant. I move Krom's token into space 8, which will move us over to Thorn, who's up here in the same area as Chada for his turn. And he has a lot of time left. Since they're already in the same spot, Thorn and Chada, I'm going to have them trade before he starts his move action. So as a trade, we'll trade her 1 gold, and in trade he is going to get the telescope. Also, we'll have him... No, I don't want to do that yet, because I can always send that to him later with the falcon if he finds the other ones. And for Thorn's move action, I'm going to move him 1, 2, 3 spaces. And I can pass through that spot with the fog token that's revealed without activating the gore. Only if I end my turn on it does it activate. So he's already on a space and reveals a blue rune stone, which we will keep. This adjacent space is a green one, which sucks because we already have a green one. And these 2 spaces are also adjacent, so he is able to see that that is 1 gold, and that, I don't think we've seen one of these yet, is an event card. and he moved 3, so his token will now be on 5. It's now Chada's turn, and she is on hour 5, so she still has 3 that she could use. We know that that's green, so one of these over here may be the other color. We've seen the blue, we've seen the green. There's one over here. I'm pointing and you can't see, it's off frame. There's 2 rune stones, one up there and then one on the same space with this gore here. I could have her start heading in that direction. And in order to do that, I'll pass by the merchant. So I'll move 2 to the merchant spot where she has the ability to spend 2 of her gold. And I will pick up a wineskin, put that on her player board. Let me move her token. 2 spaces for those 2 moves, and she's now on 7. It's Ayara's turn, and she only has that bonus hour available. Moving her 1 space doesn't seem to be beneficial to us, and this scroll, when it moves, is going to move right to where she's at. And the dwarf is there too. I think maybe with his increased strength, the 2 of them might be able to take that thing out in the next day. So instead of moving her out of that area, I'm going to choose to end her turn, which means she will be the first player in the next day. Which takes us to Krom, who is already in the free overtime hour and would cost willpower to move him anymore. I'm going to leave him there too. That way he's also in place, ready to go for the next day. Next is Thorn's turn. I'm going to move him 1 space, which will take him right to the space with the well. And when he empties a well out, his special ability, instead of getting the 3 willpower, he'll deplete it and get a total of 5 willpower. Now he's currently at a 7, so that 5 will put him up to 12. Not quite into the next row, but just 2 spots away. And I do want to get him there. And I'll show you why in the next round that he gets to play. But that'll end his turn and move us to Chada. It's Chada's turn. She's over here with the rest of the heroes. She's on an hour 7 on the time track, but she gets that bonus 8. And she's 3 spots away from either one of these rune stones. And she does have that full wineskin that I just purchased. So I will use her bonus hour to move her 1, and then use her wineskin to move her 2 more spots to where this rune stone is. And we chose wrong. That's the blue one. We need to find the other color, so we know where 2 blue and 2 green ones are. And her wineskin was depleted to get us there, which opened up that spot, so I'll put the blue runestone on her board also. Thorn, I'm going to move him 1 spot over here to the merchant and spend 2 gold in order to get a helm. He spends his 2 gold in order to get a helm, which will go on his player. And the reason I wanted to get that for him is if I can get him into the next tier, he rolls 4 dice. And with the helm, identical dice values are totaled up in battle. So if I get to roll 4, there's a good chance I might roll 2 dice that are the same, and if they're 3s or 4s or 5s, 6s, I can add up the numbers instead of just taking the single die, which will make him much more effective in combat. Also, with that move, it puts him adjacent to both of these spaces. And that is a wineskin. And that is another event card space. It would be Chada's turn next, but she's already in the overtime spot. I don't want to waste any willpower. I'll put her into the sunrise box. And we still have one move that we can make with Thorn. And for him, I did not pick up that green rune stone, so I have an open spot in my inventory. I'll move him 1 space and pick up this wineskin. That would end his turn, because I do not want to go into overtime and remove this special effect, because that goes away because the sunrise is coming. The sunrise is here. The first thing we need to do is draw an event card. A wild gore storms forth. The gore on the space with the lowest number now moves 1 space in the direction of the arrow. The group can prevent this by paying willpower points. So we have to pay 6 willpower points. The gore on the space with the lowest number moves 1 space. Where is the gore on the lowest space? 23, 24, 25, 38, 16. I could use my shield. You can see it has that shield symbol on it right there. That means I could use my shield to stop that from happening. Do I want to do that? I think I'll keep my willpower points, and I don't think I'm going to use my shield on this one. It's going to move him here. And then when he moves again, he'll move here, which is 1 spot away from the castle. But I think with this Skral moving to us, and us being able to combat him, and then I can move Krom just the 2 spaces away later on in the day, especially since he has a half full wineskin to get 1 free move to take care of that gore by himself, since he has a strength of 5. I think I'll do that. I'll go ahead and let that event card play out, and the gore in the lowest space will move. That gore way over there is in the 60s, so that was the one in the lowest space. The event card's been taken care of. Now we do move the gores, and he is in the lowest space, so he will move first here. These gores, so 23 will move first. 23 moves to 19. 24 moves, and then 25. And then we have to come over here to the mountains and move this gore with the herb 1 space. Oh, I forgot the gore on 38 here. He would have moved before that one, but they're not in the same spot, so it's okay. Next we would move our Skrals, and we only have the one out that can move. The one on the tower stays, and he moves on to spot 18 with us. And then we get into the Wardraks. And let me show you a close-up picture of the sunrise box. You can see here in the sunrise box, we had our event card, the gores move, the Skrals move, and then we have the Wardraks move. And then we would have trolls move if they were on the board, and then the Wardraks move again. So they're going to get to move 2 times. The Wardraks are both going to move once, and then they'll move a second time because there's no trolls on the board. We have 26 and 27. 26 will move first. And then 27 would move forward, but there's a Wardrak there. Then it would move forward again, but there's a gore there. Then it would move forward again, but there's a gore there. So it all moves all the way up here to space 4, one move from entering the castle. Then the Wardraks would move again, starting with the lowest number, which is number 4, moves into the castle and onto our first shield. And then this one would move forward, runs into a gore, moves forward, runs into a gore, and then moves on to space number 4. And that is why I wanted to make sure I had at least 2, and I'm glad I have 3 shields there in case one of these other creatures makes it into the castle, because I knew these things were going to move quickly and get in there. Next we replenished the wells. And there's only the one well that got used, and it gets replenished. It was up there by the tower, just out of frame. Well, it's barely in frame. Sorry about that. And then finally we will move the narrator token. The narrator token will move forward to spot H, leaving us only 6 spots away from reaching N and ending the game, or flipping over card N. So we have some tasks to complete. That will end day 2 for us. And we've done the sunrise and we're ready to begin day 3. We'll do that here shortly. We got the herb location known. We got the rune stones uncovered. We got this one left over here, which is going to be the one we need to make the set of 3. The tower was revealed a while ago. We know where the witch is at. We have 2 empty spots left here. We still have a little bit of work to do to make sure that the castle stays safe, but all the players are out and everything is in motion now. We have to come up with a good strategy to make sure we get these items taken care of and assault that tower before we get to letter N. I thank you for joining me and hope to see you in the next video for day number 3 of the Legends of Andor.